Hi everyone. So I just want to do this YouTube video about living in Philadelphia because I've been searching on YouTube and I don't think nobody's really talking about it. So I'm going to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about my experience living here. I want to talk about the good and the bad of living in Philly. I was raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I've been living in Philly for about 10 years right now. And the reason why I moved here because I wanted to get a house in New York, but it was so expensive. So I decided to get one in Philly because at the time it was affordable. And if anything, I could always sell the house and move back to New York. So as I been living in Philly, I miss New York, but then I started to love Philly, and I felt Philly was great to raise a family once you didn't live in the rough neighborhoods. So what is great about Pennsylvania as a whole? They focus on art and music in the schools. They really is a state that really will nurture you if you're into art and music. That's what I like about Pennsylvania. And they have a lot of recreation for your kids. There's Sesame Street, Dorney Park, Great Adventure, Hershey Parks. There's the Art Museum in Philly. And they also have the aquarium, the zoo. There's a lot you could do with your kids in Philadelphia, which I like. And Philly is known for their Philly cheesesteaks, which is really good. So, other than that, those are the great stuff I like about Philly. If you want to get your kids in activities, they're affordable, whether it's dance lessons or maybe in a football team, baseball team, whatever activities are very affordable if you're a family. Um, the properties here are, I would say, as of right now, was average, but when we first moved, they were a lot affordable. So the cost of living was a lot affordable when we first moved here. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about the cons of living in Philly. A lot changed since the pandemic. It's just not the same. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the problems that we have in Philly. Now, it was affordable until we had this governor, Governor Wolf. He's our governor. He promised to bring jobs to Pennsylvania, and he did not. All he did was raise the taxes here. So I'm not sure, but I know the last time I left New York, the sale tax is 8.8 in New York. The sale tax in Philly is 8.0. So when you buy something in New York, whether it's clothes or TV or whatever, it's almost the same as you buying in New York City in terms of sales tax. Okay. In terms of education, for some reason in Philadelphia, the kids in Philly struggle in math for some reason. I don't know what it is, but they are just not teaching math properly to the kids in Philly. They have an issue with the math. If you look at the schools in Philly, a lot of them struggle in math. Okay. Another issue I have with Philly, now that we have this new governor and we have this mayor, they're just they raise the taxes. They have a soda tax, a sugar tax. So if you buy anything with sugar, it's high. The groceries are high too. They're more expensive than the groceries in New York. Is it? Sometimes the groceries be more in New York, or sometimes the groceries in New York be more. But when I moved here, the groceries was always high. Okay, the food is expensive in Philly. Food is expensive. It's not cheap. More expensive than New York City. Our gas prices is more expensive than New York City. So I just don't understand it. Okay, the rents are high. The rents are not cheap here unless you want to live in the hood. Okay, the rents are cheap in the hood, but in the hood, there's a lot of shooting and there are a lot of break-ins in the houses. Okay, the infrastructure, I don't know what's going on sometimes. I never been to a city where I watch the news and the house collapse. Usually, like the houses be collapsing in these townhouses called row homes. They just fall apart. Okay. Another thing with Philly, they don't. They charge you a lot of tax here, and they don't fix up the place. Like I wonder where all the money go. Like at least fix up the park. Fix up the recreation centers. Like they're charging us all these taxes, and at least they could do is try to fix up the city, make the city look nice. You know what I mean? Um, and another issue I have with Philly, the gun problem. We have a gun problem here. I don't know why. I feel like somebody's deliberately bringing guns purposely in our city. We never had a serious issue with guns, and it got really bad. To me, like Philly's turning into Chicago. Every day somebody's getting shot. Somebody is deliberately bringing guns to the city, and I feel nothing's done about it. It should not happen because New York had a crime under control. We live near New York. You live we're near Boston, we're near Washington, D.C. We should not have a crime problem in this city, but we do. And nobody's talking about the gun problem. Somebody is purposely bringing guns in the black and brown communities deliberately. There's easy access to guns, and they're doing it on purpose for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so other than that, the rent is high, your gas is high, the utilities is affordable as of right now. It's affordable. The rents are high. Another thing I hear with the houses here, people don't fix up their homes. When you buy a house, the way they bought their house, that's how they have it. You have to do repairs in the houses. To me, I feel like if you gotta do repairs, if you buy a house, at least fix it if they want so much money for the house. So that's one of the issues I have with Philly. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe no more. I used to do DoorDash. I love doing DoorDash. And I don't do it no more. They're hijacking people's cars. They bringing a gun to your head and stealing your vehicle now. It's like ridiculous. The crime here, it just got so bad and it got worse. It wasn't this bad before the pandemic. It wasn't this bad. It was great. But since the pandemic, it got really bad here. They're hijacking your car with a gun, you know, and the looting. The looting is real bad. When there's protesting and looting, it is bad, and they don't do nothing about. They just stand, watch, and people loot. They loot as far as my neighborhood, which is the Northeast. So if you're thinking about moving to Philly, don't. Everything's shut down. They did open up a bit, but it's just not the same. It's like depressing. It's just not the same. And last summer, like I had to stay in the house all the time because everything was closed. So if you can buy pools, everything was sold out. Bikes, pools, everything was sold out last year. So I don't know. They say they're going to try to open up, so hopefully that will ease the gun problem. But they just need to have jobs. We need jobs here. There's no jobs. There's no jobs here. And if you do get a job, your pay is low and everything here is costly. So I wouldn't advise you to move here if you're thinking about moving here. Now the like outside of Philly is good. Like the suburbs is good. If you could live outside of Philly, you're good. But not Philly at all. It's bad. I did remote learning since August. Since August, I have there. All my kids go to charter schools, and my my older daughter, she goes to a different charter school because she couldn't get into the other charter school my boys go to. And the charter school my boys go to, they have not opened up, and they say they're gonna open up in April the 19th for kindergartens. School be over the first week of June in Philly. School be over the first week of June, and you not when you gonna open up the schools? So nobody's talking about the gun problem is a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Every day somebody gets shot. Let me see if I find my phone. I have this app just now, 1 hour ago, carjacking. If you could see it. Let me low down that light. The glare. Somebody got their car stolen an hour ago. Armed robbery, an hour. It's just ridiculous. An hour ago. That's just an hour ago. So the crime is out of control. It's out of control here. It's like they lost. I don't know. I don't know what the media are doing. So if I could move, I would move ASAP. I would move. I could move back to New York. I could, because I have family, friends there. I could move back, but it's expensive. And they shut everything down there, you know. And then they want you to take shots. They're doing some craziness. Vaccine passport. They have their own issues. So if I could, I will move. If I get an opportunity to move out of Philly, I will. So I'm going to try to see if I could move out of Philly. Because I don't know if I don't want to do this another year. Another year of remote learning. My son, his eyes is getting crossed by looking at the computer all day. By staring at the computer all day. Now he got cross eyes. So, other than that, it was good. In terms of transportation, New York City is better. You still need a car here. Maybe that's why they hijacking cars. The transportation is not that good. Okay? It's not that good. You gotta wait 20 to 15 minutes for the bus. And sometimes when the bus running late, they leave you. They skip the bus stop and go. And then sometimes the bus don't come for another hour. So the transportation here stinks. Okay, but in terms of cost of living, it's almost the same like New York. Is the only thing is your utility bills are cheaper, and that's it. Your utility bills are cheap. A two-bedroom right now in my neighborhood is 1,200 a month or 1,300 a month now in the Northeast, and that's cheap in the Northeast. I don't know how much it is to live in Center City. You know, I don't. It's probably more. So that's what I'm gonna talk about. Nobody's talking about Philly. I see people moving to Philly. I mean, videos 5, 6 months ago. Nobody's talking about what's going on here. You know, I'm bothered about it. I don't even watch the news. I don't even look at the news right now. Tired of hearing somebody get shot every day. So I don't even watch the news right now. So that's why I want to talk about the pro or cons. It's great if they open back the city and if they could provide jobs. It's a nice place to live. So if they could open back the place up and they could provide jobs, give something for young people to do here, then it's a great place to live in. Other than that, I wouldn't move here. Don't even bother moving here. All right, so that's all I wanted to say. All right, bye.